Hey everybody, so I'm going to try this whole live stream on YouTube. So let's give this a try and see what happens, which is pretty much how I do everything. So I'm also going to do in case one, I'm assuming that's me. Yeah. And I'm also going to go ahead and see if I can do Screencastify at the same time. So I have about a half hour before my class starts. So it may look really weird, and if it does, just it's trial and error.
3, 2, 1.
Okay. So I have about a half hour before class starts. And I'm trying to figure out how not to trip on the charger. And let's see what else I gotta do. So it's AWS Academy. This is the first, and the laptop sliding. So that's good to know. Let's see. So I have this on a podium so I can see. So let's see if it's not going to slide. I think the charger was weighing it down. Let's see if I put the charger up here. I should have just charged it before I did this, but whatever. Okay, so AWS Academy. And so I have two different computers here. I have the one that's actually connected to the output device, which is the television. And then I have the laptop, which I'm actually recording all of the stuff on. And I'm also going to do a Google Hangouts for those who can't attend in person. And then recording this, both YouTube Live and also with Screencastify, which is why this is YouTube Live and this is Screencastify. We'll see how it works. This is why I'm doing the beta version of this and not charging the students. It's like you're learning really good content, because I wish I had this content whenever I was studying for my exam, because it's just a lot better. It's a lot easier to understand and it flows a lot better. So what I have here, okay. So let's see. So it looks like I'm still streaming live on YouTube, but it doesn't do a screen share. I don't believe this is Screencastify. Let's go ahead and hide this. Okay. Okay, so anyways, going to Google Drive. I'll do the same thing here. Google Drive. Already have it open. So, well, last week we kind of went over, just make sure everybody I was able to access all the resources. And for the most part, I think we did. And there was one we had problems with, and I think I got that fixed, but now I'm having issues with it again. And so some of this just might be silent while I'm trying to figure this out. And so it's on screen. If you're watching on Screencastify, I can edit that if I have time and I feel like it. And if on YouTube Live, then it's live. So, okay. So I had to reset my password because I said I was locked out for 30 minutes. But what I'm trying to do with that, I can actually download the resources. So last week, the assignment was Okay. So last week was kind of make sure everybody had access to the resources. This last one's where we had some problems. I think everybody's got it now though, and I locked myself out of it. So I'm waiting for it to pass the time to reset so I can access it. We have a Discord channel and we're sharing. We don't have an LMS. Really kind of, we have the labs, but we don't really have a learning management system. So I'm just using a Google folder. Course outline. So it can be done completely online for those who can't attend class, because it conflicts with their schedule or whatever. But we do have weekly classes to discuss and review. There's calendar invites, and you can virtually attend live classes. So I'm playing with different things such as Google Hangouts, and then also YouTube Live. Google Hangouts I don't have started yet. Go back into this. And then there's just the outline of what you'll be learning within the course. So the tools and supplies needed, it's a laptop, notebook, pen, index cards. Or I say optional, but in my personal opinion, they're required. But everybody has their own methods of studying, which is one of the components that we'll be talking about because we're getting started. We are starting this, and my bra strap's always irritating. We are getting started on this, and yeah, so I want want everybody to kind of share their study habits that's effective and works well for them. For me, it's index cards, writing everything down, and index cards, because the whole process of writing and then rewriting and then doing it again, to me, that's an iterative process, and then you have a better chance at retention and understanding. It's like, oh, this is what this means. But some students say that's not the way they learn. That's not the way they learn. That's fine. But I just want us to share resources and tips and tricks, whatever it is that's effective, because that's the ultimate goal, is for them to retain and develop a better understanding of this. They don't have to do necessarily what I say, even though I think it's best, but not always for everybody. Let's see. So goals, of course, is develop. This is again last week. It was develop an understanding of AWS. Okay. So their assignments was to watch some videos and to do some knowledge checks. And then I wanted to give it a try of EC2, which is the lab. And I knew I put this somewhere, but evidently I put it on the wrong one. Okay, because I wanted us to, let's see, what I want to do, cut that instead of delete it. Okay. Because I knew I put this because I was, I want us to do a case study, see like real life application of people utilizing AWS. And when I did a presentation, I don't know, back June, I think, then I was doing some research on talking about AWS, and I, found Lyft's story, and I thought it was a really cool story and a really good way how they're using it. So, okay. So what I need to do now, I'm gonna go ahead and switch back to this because I don't know how YouTube Live works whenever I'm not on the screen, if you're just still seeing me. Okay, so what I need to do now is to need to look at these PowerPoints after I extract the zip drive, until I'm able to get logged back into that book thing that I got logged out of. Okay. And for here, so I'm trying to do, but this is going to be a little tricky. Wish I had, I've asked for like a mic and a camera on this particular computer, so it could be all in one, but probably won't happen until summer, which is fine. Okay, what am I doing? Okay. So what I need to do is, what I'm going to do is this. Okay, so I got this downloaded and extracted, and I want to open up my Google Drive. and upload these PowerPoints that I downloaded on this computer into Google Drive. Okay. Okay, there they are. So we're going to start with a talk about study tips. Then I'm also going to show them my score with my certification. Okay. Now, my goal is not to go over all of this stuff because they can read it. They don't need me to read it to them. And some of these have like 40 some slides. I don't want to go over 40 some slides. So a lot of this is, well, not all these slides. A lot of this are in the modules that the assignment was, but not all of them. I do see some new slides in here. So what we'll do most likely is discuss some of the key points in here. But again, I'm not reading everything. get logged out of that one too. So this is where the labs are at. And the link is messed up, so just click on that and it'll take you to it. Could have sworn he did it. Yeah, okay, she did it. Okay. Power went out. Okay. Then so well, I was responding to email, so I need to get logged in here. What password is, okay. I think it opened up in another, yeah, it did, okay. So this is not learning management system, but it's the platform for the labs. Go ahead and do the meets. Let's see how all this stuff works together. So I have YouTube Live and I have Screencastify, and now I'm trying to do Meets. So let's see. Oh, let's try present. Okay. Hide that again. Still got Screencastify, still using YouTube Live. And now yeah. Okay. Well, it looks like I'm not sure who's showing up. It is the first week of break for the students. And I wasn't sure who was going to show up. But let's go ahead and close that out. So what I suppose I can do is just go ahead and present and let it record and YouTube Live me and whatever else. And then somebody walks in. Great. I saw I had a reminder for Twitch. I'm running late by my way, so one was coming good. And saw a reminder for Twitch. She may be interested in doing this as well. So I think it's just her, who's an awesome student, by the way. You might just do this for an hour and then watch Twitch. Okay. Because Twitch is having a thing on Alexa, and Alexa's fine. Okay, so. Okay. So wait for her to get here. That's okay. This is like my beta test of teaching this class in the curriculum. So my thoughts have been, to kind of go over the labs, to go over the stuff, the content. Then we'll do the labs. What's my thoughts? So I want to be a flipped classroom model. And I admit it's confusing for me sometimes. So I want them, so this past week, they were supposed to do the EC2 labs. And then we was going to, just to get them acclimated, just get them used to the interface, and just to be clumsy with it. And so it's not brand new when we're going over in class. So they were supposed to go over the EC2 labs, and then we're going to come in and we're going to discuss module 1, module 2, and let's see. Trying to remember what I'm in right now. Okay. So module 1, 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. Trying to tell if there's a way to tell how many people are in here. So I did this originally by go on present mode. So let's go ahead and do join. And see, that'll alert me whenever somebody comes on. Okay. Yep, okay, it's just me right now. So there's somebody on here. It's cool you're live. I've yet to go live myself. Hey, so I'm trying to do a class, but nobody showed up. I have one student wanting to come to class. Let's see. Students interested. That's not AWS. So I think what I would like to do ultimately is to try to live stream on Twitch. But haven't quite ventured that far yet. Nice. Into he says AWS plus Minecraft. I'm so not a gamer. What's the hook with Minecraft? So they're saying that I need to combine AWS and Minecraft. So see what AWS, let's Google what AWS and Minecraft mean. So I have no idea. Hosting Minecraft realms AWS. Let's see. I'm so not a gamer. Okay. But evidently setting up Minecraft server in the cloud. So I gotta learn Minecraft. So you haven't messed with game load. Is it, let's see. Does it use Amazon game lift? I haven't messed with that. Been playing, typing slow, been playing with Sumerian and Alexa mostly. I am hosting like classes to earn gaming digital badge. With AWS Educate. So let's learn about GameLift. GameLift is a fully managed service for deploying, operating, and scaling your session-based multiplayer game servers in the cloud. So GameLift replaces the work required to host your own game servers, including buying and setting up hardware and managing ongoing activity, security, and storage. They need, which is the whole name of the cloud, while making sure you always have games available for new players to join with minimal waiting. There's a game that I don't have to create. I think that's what Minecraft's supposed to do, right? Man, multiple, whatever. Let's see. Game looks interesting. See, just not my thing, but the back end understanding of the structure of it, now that looks fun. That's just not my gaming. It's just not my thing. So the Alexa on Twitch is about 45 minutes. And I'll wait for the student who's running late and who honestly looks like to be the only one. Hello.
Is this Tasha?
Yeah.
Hi, Tasha. It's Danny here. Sugar Call Notice.
Oh.
I was just going to call and say that her numbers have been really down this year before Christmas break.
Okay.
And the kiddos were just kind of wanting to watch a movie tonight for our last day.
Mhm.
And unless you have something special planned, I was going to go ahead and tell you to just take the night off and not make the trip.
Okay, well, I appreciate you telling me that. Yeah, that works fine. I was just going to play with a little bit more of the metaverse, but it's nothing special planned that we can't do. Am I going to be doing this next in January, resuming in January?
January 9th, I believe, would be your first
Okay.
class. If Thursday still works for you.
Yeah, Thursdays is fine. The setup we have is fine, and just every now and then there might be an oddball thing, and I'll try to give as much notice as I can. Then, but yeah, that works. If you guys want me to continue until the end of the school year, or what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, as of right now, we'll say definitely at least through the next quarter, because it seems to be working out really well. So
Okay, good.
tutoring will be starting out next semester. So again, numbers could change a little bit, but as of right now, we'll definitely commit to next quarter.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you for letting me know about tonight.
Awesome, Tasha. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. I'll see you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I am going to turn off the meet. Let's see. And that phone call was actually at Logan Hockey in middle school. I do an after school session with the middle schoolers, and we do coding activities. We usually play with Metaverse or something with CS first with Google. They're too young to really get into AWS. And yeah, but they were watching a movie last day of school. Yeah, something like that. Last day, right before Christmas break. So they'll just kind of want to watch a movie, which is fine. Let's see. Okay. Send this text back to my sister. So it's very interesting, I know, watching this, but we'll see how it goes. Oh, cool. Most kids who play Minecraft want to play a version of the game with extra plugins that enhance the game. The only way to play this enhanced version with your own friends is to host your own Minecraft server with these extra plugins. So it's a good way to teach. Ah, that's cool. So is in the AWS marketplace. To purchase, or how does it work to get started? Okay. It's by their own copy of the game, but it has a server has to be a setup yourself. Okay. So there's nothing in AWS Marketplace. You have to roll your own. Plus, everyone who wants to play the game has to buy their own copy. So how much is Minecraft? How do you even get started with Minecraft? I have no idea. Minecraft official site. It says refuse to connect. Try to reload. I don't know why. Let's try another one. So evidently I can't get my Minecraft on here. Let's see. Exit out that one. Minecraft. Hello.
Did anyone else show up? Oh, I'm sorry to make you wait.
No, you're fine.
I did have like 2 questions.
I've been on YouTube Live, just figuring out how to work with YouTube Live.
Nice.
And it's been like an hour of people watching me.
Nice.
And then there's a gentleman with Exam Pro. He created like a tutorial or resources to study for AWS.
Nice.
And he's been chatting with me.
Cool.
He says I need to get them involved in Minecraft, AWS and Minecraft. And I'm like, I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, I don't even know how to do that. Like,
so he's been telling me how to do that. So I have to look into
I don't even
that.
know how to do Minecraft. Like, I'm so backwards.
And then
I don't remember what we were supposed to have done by today, but the only thing that I was confused about was the lab.
What you have problems with?
Why didn't I have like problems with the main log? I just had a question about it. Like the first lab.
There was just the one lab.
Yeah.
The EC2?
Yeah, but then later in 2, I'll find out exactly where it is. Because I've been kind of just going, I don't remember where we're supposed to be, but there is a couple other labs later, but where it seems like there's labs, but there's just videos. There's no like little box for it to be like whether to check if it's complete or not. I'll show you what I mean.
You're just still doing the EC2 one, right?
No, I'm past that.
Oh, did you go past another one? Okay, I haven't looked at the other ones.
Okay, that was the only thing. Yeah, because this is okay.
Because Vocarium or whatever is where the labs are.
Lab.
Okay.
Trying to find it. No, here, lab exercises. Okay, so you go there and it does that. So I did that first lab.
Mm-hmm.
I did all that and but then when you all the way down here, like so. Yeah, I did all that. So when you're past 2, yeah, then they have these. They talk about how you need to go complete the lab and the knowledge check. But then this is all they have for the labs is this like 5-minute video. So I just didn't know if you went to that first link and entered the Vocarium from that. You know,
well,
what I mean?
everything's in Vocarium.
Right. They just don't have another like. I just thought for some reason they'd have another little box like lab 2, and then you go there.
What was it for S3?
Yeah.
Demo in S3.
And it tells you like how to follow along and do it, but they have one for S3, they have one for Elastic File System and Glacier, and then they have the knowledge check, and I did that. But I feel like we're supposed to do these 3 labs too, but there's no button for it. So my question was, do we just go back up to, because the only way I know to access it is here.
It may be. I haven't gotten that far into it.
Okay, and if I'm just too far ahead, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine too. But I just didn't know. I wasn't sure. I was like, I don't know if I'm just supposed to do labs here. Because when you go back on there, then it does say lab 1. So I'm like, should there be a link for lab 2 or something?
Let's see.
But you could probably still access it from here.
Let's see.
I just didn't know if there would be, if you're supposed to use the same link to do all the other lab exercises. I believe you. I mean, they're not even here, so I thought somebody would show. They may all come home. Yeah, so then when you get
which one are we at again?
You get it's hard to find, but basically I can put these are all just videos.
Okay.
And then yeah, it comes down here, and they're a video too, but they're 5-minute videos where it's a video console demonstration.
Okay.
So I believe they're like telling you how to go do the lab. I just didn't know. I just assumed there would be a link right here that had like.
I see something with an ACF lab too, working with EBS.
How did you get there?
Well, I'm also the educator.
So I just don't know how to access that.
There might be something I'm supposed to be doing.
I don't know.
Which is always possible.
Yeah, it's always possible. But it could be something on here. It could be something they just forgot to put a button for. And I can do I mean, I can go through and do everything else without doing the
But
lab.
what do you think of the content so far?
I think it's fine. I like it fine. Yeah, it's not bad. I like it. Some of them, it's like, some of them don't have captions, closed captions, and that's always my go-to.
The notes. Have you go to open up one of them? Have you seen that? I go off the notes.
Okay, off the notes. Yeah, I haven't checked the notes yet. For some reason, I thought that was for my notes because sometimes they have it where you can write your own.
And let's see. So I got this one, and then
But I've been liking it.
oh, so this one I haven't watched this video yet, but usually
bar, scroll down to the.
See, I think this is the knowledge. This is where they're trying to tell you how to do it.
This is going to bring up your S3 console.
okay, I haven't gotten that far into it, so I don't know yet. But what I was on the other ones.
Mhm. It's easy to go down a rabbit hole. Totally. I don't know if you saw my post in Discord.
And then there's like the notes.
Okay, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I never looked at it.
Okay, so notes is basically the script.
It's the script.
Okay, but on the one that we just clicked with S3, I didn't see that on
Yeah,
there.
so, well, I think that was for the lab
Oh, okay, was it?
instruction. I think that's what
Okay.
we were looking at before. Because when they say video console demonstration, I think that's what that is. It's for these 3 labs.
Okay, so
Because
then
they kind of
they
refer
don't
to it
have
in the
notes.
videos.
Okay.
Yeah, so those may not have.
So recorded lecture with text. Okay, so
But that probably would,
Yeah.
with text.
yeah.
So
So that's
just go off the notes, okay?
So one of the things I was wanting us to kind of do is, in this class, was talking about study tips. Like,
Mhm.
this is how I study. I seriously just wrote down notes.
That's what I do too while
Okay.
I'm going through it. And then I was going to ask you, do you make your flashcards while you're doing it or afterwards? Because that's what I was going to do. So I was like, I think I just want to go through it. And then
Because trying to focus on too
It's
many
too-
different,
it's just too much,
it's
yeah.
too frustrating.
So that's why I was especially trying to get through it so I could start doing that
And
part.
then then every time you do it,
Yeah.
you write it down again, and then you
Mhm.
develop a better understanding. Things start slowly
Mhm.
making.
They have a
connections.
little bit,
Yeah.
yeah. But I could see how that.
Like, yeah, it does. It's happened over time. Even because I took mine exam in early June, and I think I told you I barely passed by like 20 points.
Oh, yeah. So, like, oh, still
But
nice.
it was because I was in Chicago the week
Yeah,
before, and then I had a horrible
yeah,
migraine like
so
the
you
weekend, so I
couldn't-
didn't finish
couldn't
any
do
more
the,
studying.
like,
But
yeah, cramming.
yeah, and
Sorry.
but what I did was like I did the notes and then I did the flashcards, and because every single time that you
Expose yourself.
to it, exactly, you have
Yeah.
things start becoming more familiar. Because right now some of this stuff is
It's
like,
just like, oh, yeah.
okay, it's a new word, I
It's
don't know what
barely
it means.
memorized what it
Yeah,
is. Yeah,
yes.
maybe, yeah.
And I don't want it to be a memorization game, but
Yeah.
even me doing some of this stuff, I've gotten as far as you have. I'm learning, I'm relearning or remembering or
Yeah.
realizing.
Reconnecting,
Yeah,
strengthening
reconnecting,
those
exactly. And that happens every single time that you do it.
connections.
So that's one of the things. It's like I write. Whenever you do the lab, there was some terms in there. I
Yeah.
just especially it was something that's like AMI, something
Yeah.
that's specific to, and then I would write it down. And if there's something that I had a good idea of what it was, but maybe it's like I know vaguely what it is, but I don't know. Have a good concept of it, like root value. I kind of know what name is,
Yeah,
but I'm like,
not really.
So what I did was like I wrote it down instead of being like OCD, and instead of worrying about I need to look that up, but that because I don't understand that and
Right.
to understand this, I just wrote it on top. So how did you do that whenever you came across terminology that?
Yeah, I normally, and I've done this with other things, like if there's something I just totally don't know what it is, a lot of times if I don't look it up, I'll just write it down and put a question mark afterwards, and that way I know that what is this?
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'll and then sometimes as you go along, answer it'll kind of
Yeah.
answer itself, and then if not, then eventually you're like, okay, what is that?
Yeah.
When I go back over, I'm like, okay.
So whenever
I kind of do too.
Yeah.
Area, and I will just put question mark
Yeah,
after
so-
it, and that's my signal. That's my signal that I don't know what the hell it is, and I should look it up.
That is our signal. It's like
The question mark.
what is this?
What is that?
And some of it, because cloud formation and availability zones, I know what it is, but I mean,
Yeah.
could I have a better concept of it? Yeah. If it's something I can do to increase my understanding, but I'll do it. But And whenever, like, the reason I take the notes, and then like when I do the flashcards, and then that's the time I'll start doing Google search or
Yeah,
having a better understanding of what
when
this
you go back
is.
to the flash.
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
And another thing that I did was like, because when you do the exam, because these are the knowledge
Yeah.
checks,
Yeah.
when you do the exam, some of the wording,
Yeah.
I got caught on some of the
Yeah,
wording.
some of the wording was confusing me too.
Yeah, there was one that caught me and I got wrong. I just wanted to share that. Let's see.
I didn't do perfect on all the knowledge checks, but they stayed the same, so I did.
What is it now?
All the knowledge checks stayed the same when you take them again. Like,
Okay.
I didn't pass them every time, but then I would
Like
just
the
pass them
questions still
second time.
change,
Yeah,
like they do in
Yeah.
Educate.
right, yeah. Which makes it harder.
So this one right here is one of the knowledge checks. Like when you pay as you go, pricing model, how often do you pay for compute resources? And I was thinking billing, like you pay once a month.
Yeah.
So I put monthly,
Mhm.
and that was wrong.
And they're like second to that.
Yeah, because I interpreted,
Because you're not gonna
monthly
pay
bill.
every second.
yeah. So that was my interpretation of the
Yeah.
question. So I made a little star, whenever I got one of them wrong, I was like, okay, make more flashcards on this particular subject because evidently I don't know it.
Are some of the questions on the exam straight from the knowledge checks or not?
They actually update the exam, I think every 6 or 7 months.
Okay, so probably not. So it's probably totally different.
Yeah.
Well,
But, if the basic concepts.
because I was gonna start with
This
the
is the
knowledge
fundamentals.
checks
Yeah,
as my flashcards.
Yeah.
And then try to build from there.
yeah,
other
use white
things.
papers. I wish what
Okay,
I
more white
would have done more, because what I did is.
So I'll start with the knowledge checks and then do white paper.
And what I did whenever I was studying is, I did the resources that was available here, and trust me, this is a lot better than what I had, because someone's like trying at me.
Yeah.
But,
It's
and then-
shiny now.
and Cloud Guru was $30 a month. And I used that as a resource. And I did a combination, basically Cloud Guru. Remember like LinkedIn Learning, somebody telling me how to.
Is that?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think that Cloud Guru is like that? We get everything we need from this? Or
I think
would
we'll
you
get
do
everything
that?
we need for this if you do the white papers. And even Cloud Guru says you need to read the white papers. White papers are usually 20, 30 pages long.
And that's why, I normally open them up and I start, and then I'm like, I'm stopping. But I'll have to go back through them a lot better when I do flashcards. It's hard. It's like, wow.
So
you
I
can
wish
talk
I would have done
forever
white
about
papers
this.
more.
Yeah, so more white papers. That's good advice.
Yeah. I do think, and even when you do the exam, whenever you're prepping for the exam, if you go to just Google AWS certification, that's not what I want, AWS Learning Paths. I don't know if that's what I want. This is what I want, AWS certification. No, it's not what I want. I want the actual AWS page and talking about certification. Okay, this is what I want. So when you go to prepare for an exam, and I'm not logged in. I know you said you already have access because you got the card thing.
Oh, I got the real AWS account.
So what we want to go to is aws.amazon.com.
Okay. That's what I want. Ooh. Do I sign in?
Okay. And then / certification.
Prepare for an exam, schedule an exam.
Okay. So when you go to prepare for an exam,
Okay.
and we're doing the foundational level, AWS certification, you see that? Okay. If you click on that little plus sign, it tells you, now we'll have free
Exam
access since we're doing the
guide.
AWS Academy. We have free access to a practice exam. And one of the things around $40.
Prepare.
I don't remember, but anyways, it cost.
Mm-hmm.
But we have free access to the certification practice exam with the AWS Academy. And then we also have, I think it's 50% off for the exam, actual exam. And last time I
was
checked was
like,
$100,
that's
so.
awesome.
Okay, on the top it says download exam guide and sample questions. Okay,
Ooh,
so there's an exam guide.
Those are good, sample
Yeah.
questions are good flashcards too.
Yes. So it tells you recommended AWS knowledge, exam content, how much of each domain is for, like, cloud concepts makes up 26% of the exam,
Let's see.
security and compliance, technology. And then I would make this part of the flashcards, answer when it says domain 1 cloud concepts, define the AWS cloud and its value proposition.
Okay,
I would make that part. Can you adequately describe that?
Not the value proposition,
Yeah.
not right now, yeah. So.
And sometimes what I like to do is if I know what proposition means, but it makes my brain work too
I have
hard.
to take a minute to let it sink in, and then
Yeah.
like, okay, now I think I can answer.
Yeah.
But at first I'm like, no, definitely I don't know that.
Search Google for proposition. It's like, what's another word for proposition that doesn't make your brain have to work so hard?
Yeah. It's
It's a statement. So
Yeah,
I would kind of reword the stuff so it makes
basically,
sense.
like, what is their like mission statement, and like how they say that it's gonna like bring people value.
Exactly. Do you do it in a way that makes sense to you?
That.
I don't want it, because sometimes the terminology, it can be a $10 word, when a $5 word would have sufficed.
Yeah.
When it can be a variety of different things that kind of throw you off, because you're just this is something foreign to you.
Yeah.
And you have to get past that level of
Because it's just
unknown and being uncomfortable to get to it.
Especially the business jargon is almost more intimidating to me than the technical jargon sometimes. I'm like, oh. But yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Because that's really a simple question. It just sounds really tricky.
Yeah.
The way they say it.
Yeah. And so, like, I'm working on a grant application right now, and I'm looking at a grant right now, and whenever I was summing up like the 10-page version of the grant, and to like a 1-page version of it, like there were some words that because I want something to be, you don't have to think. Every time you have to think. It
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's just plain.
Yeah.
Not plain, but
Yes.
like easy to follow.
Yes. If you can make it as simple as possible. So what I did when I was, condensing that down to like a 1-page, I just did Google, was like, find me another word for this, basically,
too much.
So I can make it make you think as little as possible when you're reading something.
So you can just worry about what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I want them to see the big picture, and just those little things where you have to think a little bit more about
what are they talking about?
Yeah. Yes.
Doesn't always help.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, these are good.
And there was one time this is a few years ago, whenever I was applying for another job, and it was at another company, and I gave my friend of mine and my supervisor at the time, a copy of the job description, and she's like, and it was a lot of $10 words in it, and like about 3 or 4 paragraphs long, a lot of very big words, and $10, all that stuff.
Yeah.
And she's like, that looks good. She's like, and she's a doctor.
Yeah.
And she's like, but I have no idea what you would be doing.
I have no idea what that's saying. Yeah. At that point, it gets to that point where it's like, I don't even know what you're talking about anymore. Yeah.
So don't be afraid to make it simple. So if something just a wording throws you off.
Yeah, we were joking about the last year at CodeMash, one of the guys that I met him at there's like a craft beer thing there where everybody brings craft beer and they just have one night where they get together, and I went to that because I was like, what do I do to meet people? And I'm like, I'll bring beer from Athens. We have lots of breweries. It'll be perfect. They're gonna love me. But yeah, I met some nice people, but it was so funny. We were joking about how like people aren't recruiters anymore. They're talent engagement specialists, or like something else, like some title that's like 5 words.
Yes.
And we were joking like really light about it though, like completely laughing, like, yeah, that's one of the interview questions. What is my job? I'm like, and it's just like so funny, but it's so true. It's like that's part of the whole like thing you have to navigate. Like, what the heck are they even trying to say for?
My job at OU, my last position at OU was academic program administrator.
Yeah. Okay,
Okay,
whatever that means.
sure.
Okay.
But, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid of terminology you're not familiar with.
Yeah.
I highly, highly recommend, like one of the things I was wanting us to talk about was study tips,
Yeah.
because I'm sure everybody has different ways of going about studying, but you like the note taking and the flashcards.
I think that's a good idea for me.
So you know what my score was. I done told you it's like 20 points
I'm
above
fine. I
passing.
just want to pass. Yeah. It's not like you're like you're certified or not. It's not like you get an A+ certification. It's like it doesn't work like that. Pretty sure.
And I also want to make sure, because sometimes, I know when we're in school, like when you're doing for the class for your major, you have a compressed time frame, right?
Yeah.
You got a deadlines, usually weekly, and
Yep.
all that stuff. Well, I want you to also, don't, because it's hard to get out of that mind frame, like where I got to cram it in because I got to get it done.
It'd just be more easy with it.
Yes, exactly.
Relax.
Exactly. Enjoy the process of learning.
I've actually liked AWS, and I don't know if you saw in like Discord, but I got a whole other certification on there. So
I didn't see that.
I went down a rabbit hole. And
there ain't nothing wrong with going down the rabbit hole.
I got, let's see. What color is that really? Nope.
Let's see. So podcast. I see a podcast. Oh, what do you got?
It only took like a website, and I was just like clicking on stuff, and I clicked on like, I remember how I got there, but it was, here it is. It was at the bottom. I went to learning paths, and I was just looking around at the different learning paths, and they were doing like role based, and I was like, okay. And so developer, maybe that's me, but I should look, but cloud practitioner, I could still get into that. But then I was looking at the machine learning, because I'm like, oh, this is cool. And I was just like exploring it, and then they're saying, this is how you should do it, which really that would be cool. Yeah, to like I've started trying to go down some of the paths, but how I got there, because this is optional, but that's the one I did. But I was just like, that's a recommended program. I don't remember how I got there, but I was just like looking around at stuff, and I ended up.
That is one of the frustrating parts regarding this is like,
I don't even know how I got there. Yeah.
You get to a point and then you try to remember how you got there.
I'm like, where?
Because there's so much content on there.
Yeah, there really is. And now I can't even find a way actual thing. I did put a link on Discord though, I think, because I was like, how are they going to find this? I don't even know how I found it. So I think I put a link that you can just.
It's aws.training/details/curriculum.
Okay, probably. I don't even know what they did. Hopefully it takes you there though. Push the button and see. Yeah. Oh, that's just a curriculum.
Oh.
Yes, is what it says. But I should find. I'll see if I'll find how I got there. Gosh darn it. Start training.
It goes right to me.
Oh, okay.
So what do you have to do? That page for AWS training.
Yeah. Is it true?
So now I'll go to the one I don't want to go to.
See, it'll take me to the curriculum.
There we go. Okay, so remember this page right here where you do all that. You should. It looks like that's where it's going to.
This is a different one this is the next one I'm starting on.
Okay.
But so it's not
because that link is taking you to. It looks like it's that platform.
It's just so big. It's just so big.
It does take a while to get.
But I went down a rabbit hole, and I ended up just watching those videos and getting that computer vision thing. It's only like 2.5 hours, and some of it's like kind of over my head, but some of it's like very easy to understand.
But it's exposing yourself to new terminology,
and some of it's really interesting.
Yeah.
Like all the stuff that it can do. Maybe it was in the learning library.
So what was it called again?
It's called computer vision, I think.
Seeing clearly, computer vision theory. Okay.
Theory.
Visual training.
I know you go here in the learning library.
Oh, here it is. So when you go to the AWS training insert, yep,
Okay, okay.
and look for digital training.
Oh, perfect. There it is, because there it is.
Yep.
So the curriculum does take you right there.
Yeah.
And then so I could retake it. but
And
this is
then if
it.
you want to see, go to dashboard.
Okay.
There's somewhere you can see like your transcript.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I'm
where
talking
is
about?
that? Yeah, here.
Okay, yeah.
And then,
Yeah.
so I can
Mhm.
open it there or. Ooh. But it was really
Are you
just
putting that
like,
on LinkedIn?
I can't remember if I did, I should.
And that's something you can add to your resume as well.
Yes, that's my very first. So I suggest everybody should, it's a way to get in there
Yeah.
quick,
Yeah.
get that certificate now.
Yeah.
So it felt great.
And you're exposing yourself to.
It was
some of
really
the-
only like, it's just these videos,
Mhm.
and I think altogether it's like 2.5 hours. That's it. It's just all these.
But if you like it, that's
Yeah, but I like because it was getting into the deep lens and the
Mhm.
recognition I've never got into, but it's basically just facial
Mhm.
recognition software,
Yeah.
I think, But that's cool. But it also, they have like, you can just use it like if you just wanted to
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
like they have it where it like, it'll tell you if they're frowning or happy. So that way it's for like, the idea is you could put it in a store
Uh-huh.
and then it would always be looking at people's faces.
Oh, that's cool stuff.
Yeah, and you can like put a picture through it, and it'll tell you if somebody in that picture is a celebrity
Mhm.
and like all that
Yeah.
stuff. But so I don't know. There's some cool stuff. I don't know how to like use them yet and what you, but
But
if
you're
you
being
haven't
exposed
used
to
to
it.
yeah. And I liked it. It was fun. That was a fun one.
And it's something to add to your resume.
Yeah.
And it shows that you know that you're already been
Doing
playing
this
this
stuff.
AWS.
Yeah, totally. So and like I said, I just pushed buttons and then I went down that rabbit hole,
Mhm.
and then now I'm just getting an intro to the
Mhm.
machine learning stuff.
And if that's what you
for my
like,
next
that's
course,
that's
yeah. It's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, but I still like the cloud stuff too. That was fun. That was just like a little, I got kind of like sick of the cloud stuff.
Well, the cloud's the basics of it all.
Yeah.
You know, talking about EC2.
It wasn't that I was sick of it, I was
available-
just like doing it for too long.
Oh.
I needed a break. That's what I meant. I needed a break. I wasn't sick of it, I was just like, I've been doing it for hours that day, and I'm like, I want to do something else, but I still was.
It's kind of like
So-
when you're training for something sports wise, like you get tired of
Mhm.
doing the same thing.
But I'm not tired.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Well, it's like when you're trying
I need
to
a
practice hitting the
break,
ball. It's like, I
yeah.
want to do something else that's more fun because I'm
Yeah.
sick and tired of
I
trying to hit the
need
ball.
like just a minute to,
Yes.
yeah. So that
Yeah.
was my like,
Mhm.
instead of watching a movie, I just got that certification.
That's good. That's awesome.
So it was fun.
And let's see. So, you know, just like make sure, just enjoy the process.
Mhm.
I like learning.
I do too. It's fun for me. Yeah. And I mean, it is kind of annoying and intimidating at first, but
Mhm.
once you kind of feel a little bit in the ecosystem, then I like that you can just go down a rabbit hole and do that and come out with a certification. That's cool that they have so much. It is kind of really cool.
And
Yeah, at the same
then you
time.
get to the point you accepted the fact that's frustrating.
Yeah.
The
and then
frustration
that
does not
part's
go
fun.
away.
Yeah, it's fine.
But then you realize it's them and not you.
Yeah, and it's like that's you, and it's just so big. But yeah, it's a fun thing.
Because sometimes I think we naturally assume I'm the problem.
Yeah,
I'm
but
the
not
problem.
always.
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
that.
a mess still.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just I feel like things when they're in that growth phase, they haven't figured out what works yet, so they're just going all the
Mhm.
ways, and that's great. That's fine, but it is kind of like Gabe thinks of it as too much. Like he's like, I want stuff that works and makes sense, and not just a bunch of different versions of the same thing. He's funny.
But everybody's got their thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, with whatever it is that really gets you excited about something, that's what you got to stick with.
Mhm.
Because in the whole process, I remember last year I went to a school visit and I started talking about AWS. I didn't know as much about then as I do now. And I was talking about the bigger the income, you know,
Yeah.
bigger income.
Oh yeah.
And I showed them like all the services that they had. And again, it's more now than it was back then.
Oh yeah. And they're
But-
like, we're bringing more out.
Yeah, then I mentioned 6 figures. They said, which one of those is 6 figures?
Yeah.
I was like, you know, or which one's the easiest one to learn?
Like,
And I was like, the one you have an interest in.
yeah, the one that you actually will do. That's what it is, though. It's so interesting. Like, it's like that with so many different things. It's like even with stuff that's like health. When I was learning about health and Ayurveda and yoga and stuff, it was like I was getting a little certification in that, and they were teaching us in. At one point I was like, basically, because they're saying, oh, you do this for these people's body types or this people, they need that to balance themselves out. These kind of people need that. But But these kind of people, what they really need is the opposite, but they won't do that. They'll do something in the middle, and that'll help them a little bit, but you want to kind of get them towards that thing that's more the opposite of what they want to do. And I'm like, so this whole thing is just like trying to talk, like convince people to do stuff. And so really you're just like thinking, what will they actually do?
That's kind of like
That was
teaching.
like the basic, that was like the baseline of it. It's like all these things would be great for you, but you won't do them. So what will you actually do? And that was like the whole exercise. I'm like, wow, that's what we're doing though. Is like not what will work. It's like, what will you actually take for long enough to see some benefit? Okay. Or try,
That's kind of like how teaching is, whether you're teaching yoga for somebody to maintain, like,
or health or anything.
Or teaching class.
It's the same. It's like if they won't do it, it gets really, it's like a waste of time. And even if it's their responsibility, it's not fun to waste your time.
Well, for my first year students, one of the things I say the first day is like, there's no magic wand.
Yeah.
If you don't do the work.
Yeah, do the work. I mean, that's the basics of it.
Yeah.
You still have to do the work.
Yeah, you got to do the work. There's no magic wand.
You can't get around that.
Yeah.
But everybody wants around that now.
Yes.
It's weird.
And it's just.
And then for some reason, I think they think the more technology you have, the more chance of a magic wand. They're like, can't the computer just learn it for me?
I think sometimes we get so used to things being like easy, like
already,
the easy button.
Automatic, yeah.